Northwestern severe thunderstorm tornado warning thing. You talking, Paul? So this is going to be the cool one. This is going to be the cool episode that we've been waiting for. Boss gave me a new hat, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. It's a little shiny. All right. The meaning is us. We are the meaning. Which brings value to meaning. We are meaningful. In meaning, we are meaningful. We are all for none, all for the collective, as a whole. Our species as a whole, humanity on Earth as a whole. There's a common misconception that we are, like when we step out of our bodies, or if we have a higher power experience or a spiritual experience, that we are physical beings having a spiritual experience, which that's not the case at all. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. Right? Okay, stick with me. Let's tie in a little bit of Patternism, right? And so as science advances, a lot of scientists are starting to realize that consciousness is an overall being state of mind that is in every sentient being, plants, animals, humans. Some are even starting to speculate that specific planets, other satellites like moons, maybe specific stars may also even be conscious beings. But so what happens when we die? Right? So when we die, we're reunited with our loved ones, right? Or we're separated by death. But no, we are reunited with not just our loved ones, but ourselves. So if we are a spiritual being having a physical experience, then that's what it is. As of right now, there are 4 forces of nature, right? And I have a feeling that within the coming years, we'll be opened up to a 5th force of nature. From a pattern that I've recognized many years ago, I just had trouble finding a way to put words to it. So let's do a quick recap on the forces of nature, and then I will get into the 5th, which will then help describe the conceptual reality, theoretical fact of an afterlife, right? So what Patternism is not discrediting all religion, but using modern science to help bridge the gap where there might be a lot of questions, okay? Because there are a lot of questions. But I believe us now, as a species, we are advanced enough, we've evolved enough to be able to start bridging the gap of a lot of those theories with modern science. And that's where a lot of young people are having issues with organized religion, is because there's a lot of, oh, well, that's just how we do things. Just try to stay with me. This is going to get good, I promise. There's going to be a lot of buildup, but it's going to get good, okay? So as of right now, there are 4 forces of nature. There is gravity, electromagnetism, weak nuclear force, and strong nuclear force. Now, I believe within the coming years, there will become more more forces of nature that will be recognized or discovered, fundamentals that will be brought forth with scientific discoveries relating to quantum physics, astrophysics, and what was the last one? And something that I would like to propose, an idea through this, would be neurophysics. And now this is a patternism, a pattern that I've recognized. Now this is all a theory, open to speculation, open to be debunked. But as an artist, artists tend to stand on the threshold between chaos and order and try to bridge the gap and get people to look at things from a different perspective that they wouldn't normally look at. Now, in doing so, I'm offering a perspective at consciousness and the perceivable idea of an afterlife. Now, a lot of these theories are kind of riding on the hinges of discoveries to be done with a lot of the fringe science experiments to do with ayahuasca and dreamscaping and future experiments to be done where they're going to start trying to map these hallucinogenic dreamscapes to see if they're actually a mappable zone of like a interdimensional or multiverse or some form of theory, whatever. I don't think that's what I'm going to be getting into right now. But what I am trying to find a commonality speaking point on is a theory of an afterlife and a potential aspect view on reincarnation. So let's touch on the common agreement that a brain is a biological computer. It collects and stores data, memories, learned experiences, life experiences, positive outcomes, negative outcomes, to deduce and figure out what would be the best course of action for life decisions and whatnot. So now, in recognizing that, let's propose an idea that a consciousness or a soul, let's put those in the same category, would be a hard drive, in theory, right? Would be a hard drive that collects and stores data, so pretty much memories. All this data would be memories and learned experiences. Let's just simplify it, factor it down, take the factor, simplify it, simplify your fraction and make it easier terminology to understand. So if we grasp at that like, hey, this is what we're talking about, this is what we're agreeing on, this is our concept, let's build the mold and see if the mold fits. So your consciousness would be in essence, a hard drive or a flash drive. Let's just call it a flash drive because everybody knows what the little thumb drive is, right? So your thumb drive collects data, collects information, and then that's what it is. That's your whole that's your whole being. Everything that's you is your memories, your life experiences. That's you. That's who you are, and it gets downloaded by your brain and your eyes and all of your senses into what you are. Okay. Now that's your digital print. Okay, that's your digital footprint. That's your conscious being. That's what it is. Okay, that's your soul in essence. Now to the concept of an oversoul, right? So like a big supercomputer that when you are separated and you go back to once you pass and once you die, your flash drive is unplugged, right? And then it's plugged into the supercomputer, an oversoul, a library of souls, or heaven, or whatever you'd like to call it, okay? And now all of your data, all of your information is downloaded into this large soul. That would explain being reunited with family members, heaven, afterlife, because you're connected with all of the memories, all of the everything that made grandma and grandpa who they were, where in essence it's not their physicality, but it would be their spiritual experience, once again being reunited with your spiritual experience. That's why when people have near-death experiences, they get a glimpse into this being plugged back into heaven in essence, which would be I guess geographically that person's belief system, and so that's what it would be interpreted as once you are returned back to your primitive human body. Now I understand the concept of objective bias and developing theories to support your claim. This is a theory, and yeah, there's probably going to be many things that can refute this. I'm open to debate. Come talk to me. Come speak to me on it. But I'm also stating that this is something that hasn't been discovered, and it is there. I believe that there would be a high probability that it could be in that realm of possibilities in the future. Now, once you are connected to the oversoul, why would you go back to a body again? Well, the oversoul is collecting all of this data of every sentient conscious being that's ever existed, and it's so much data, it's so overwhelming, right? And so what would be the meaning of life? The meaning of life in essence being the exploration of knowledge and information and wisdom, and learning how to pass that information on to the next cell before passing away, being your children or a sibling or whatever, anybody who's willing to listen, to learn from you, and your life experiences. That'd be your meaning. But if you stayed, or your consciousness, or your fraction of the conscious being decided to stay in heaven, then you would halt your purpose. It would make much more sense to be like, yeah, sure, I'll go back to Earth or some other planet, or some other, go learn more from a different state, from a different viewpoint, a different state of being, a different perspective, Well, if that's the case, then why don't I remember anything, or these past lives, or these we're finite, fallible, relatively primitive beings, if you think about it on a galactic, universal scale, and looking at it from that perspective, it would replicate and kind of mimic a pattern, in essence, of a brain, right? So oversoul would kind of be like a brain receiving data, and your mission, right? So let's the brain would be like a nervous system, okay? And this nervous system, when your hand tells your, or when your brain tells your hand to do this, your finger is cut off from the back of your brain at your brainstem with synapses, okay? Why? So your finger doesn't grasp overflow from the brain, right? So your finger's mission is to do this, and while your finger is accomplishing this mission, then it is not getting overflow from the brain. So my finger is not trying to breathe, in essence, because my brain is also telling my lungs to inflate. But that's so much information, my finger doesn't need to know all of that extra information, right? So that's why we wouldn't, in theory, remember past lives, you know? Because that's so much information to store in our brain, when our brain is supposed to be, our new consciousness is supposed to be learning things about life. It doesn't need to know all of the tons of data. We would fall apart or fall into a schizophrenic, epileptic catastrophe, you know? That's my theory. That's my idea. It makes sense. And I haven't, the scholars I've conversed with on this find it to be either disturbing or hold some merit. Let me know what you think.